Hi, I wanted to say a couple things as we get started here. First of all, I wanted to say thank you very much for your time, taking the effort and investing this in yourself. We are working through my first attempt to deliver advising in an online digital remote fashion. So there's a first time for everything, and we'll see how it goes. Second of all, I wanted to very briefly go over what I'm going to talk about right now so that you have an idea of what to expect. And then we can get started. So first of all, like I said, I wanted to go through, I've created a check sheet of the sport management degree, and this is part of it right here. It is a self-calculating spreadsheet, so you'll need to have your transcripts or a list of courses that you have already taken at Pfeiffer and at prior universities before you sit down with this spreadsheet. But like I said, I wanted to walk you through some of the general requirements of the college as well as the requirements of the major so that you have an idea to come prepared or perhaps facilitate an online advising situation here. I wanted to first explain that as you can see here, there are 120 credit hours that are required in order to graduate from Pfeiffer. In addition, we have this section here which refers to Pfeiffer Life, which we will get into later in the conversation. But in general, as you're looking at this, the other element to keep in mind is that if you are a transfer student, the only classes that will transfer in are those that are a C or above. And in your calculations for your major classes, the only classes that will count towards the major successfully are those that have earned a C- or higher. And those are policies that can be found in the course or the college catalog, which I can show you where to find that information on the Pfeiffer website as well. In general, like I said, the classes that people need to take in order to graduate fall into 6 different buckets. And these buckets have been highlighted by a different color here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is the yellow down here. And so what I would like to do is go through each of the buckets real quick, and then we can go from there. So the spreadsheet also, I wanted to show you, you'll see numbers here. These reflect the number of credit hours that each class represents. And there's a formula in this spreadsheet that adds up the first column here, which is, if you can see this as 2 halves, this half is all of the classes that every single person on Pfeiffer campus needs to take in order to graduate. This column over here reflects the courses that sport management majors need to take. And at the bottom, this reflects Pfeiffer Life credits. And basically what we're going to do is use your transcripts to fill out and complete this sheet. and calculate the credits that you have earned, and it will demonstrate the classes you have yet to earn. So, that being said, let's get started. This first section is reflective of classes that freshmen, sophomores, and juniors are required to take as part of the university life. And you'll notice that there's UNIV 125 and 127. The other set of classes, you'll see here they have zeros in them. So freshmen will either take 125 and 127, or they will take 126 and 128. 126 and 128 are reflective of honors classes. So you'll either take the pair of the first two classes, or you'll take the second two. 275 is a sophomore class, and 375 is the junior class. And so you'll need to take a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 credits here. So if you're in honors, your classes will have zeros for the top two, and then you'll have a 2 and a 1 respectively here. So that's the first section. The second section you'll see is a general core, and each person needs the English 101 and 102. And then as you are going through selecting classes, you will see certain classes have a letter following them, and it'll be L, H, G, R, V, S, N, W, or 3, W's here. So when you're picking classes, by the time you graduate, you will need to have one class that has each of these letters by it. So you will have to have a class that has an L, for example, as after it, and filling this up. And we can go to the course catalog, and I can explain to you that in just a second. So if you don't quite understand what I'm talking about, you can put a pin in it and set it aside for a minute. This last bucket here on the general college side is designated for your electives. If you have a minor, the classes that you have for your minor will most likely fill up right here. If you're a transfer student, the courses that didn't directly transfer, in other words, they were not able to find a direct map of a class that to a class that we have here at Pfeiffer, but they're still giving you recognizing the effort by giving you the credit. Those classes will come here. It will count here. Going over to the major side, the blue indicates the coursework that is business classes that are required as part of the sport management major. And if you will see right here, there's a Math 220M. That counts right here for the math class, which is why there's a 3 here. It counts in the major, but we do not count the credits twice. So that's why there's a 0 here. So when you are looking at those numbers and those classes, that is something to be aware of as you're filling this out. The last part of this is the sport management requirements, and that is the purple here. So these are all of the courses that are required for sport management. And this class here, Sport Management 344 G, there's supposed to be a G there. That's a typo on my part, and I'm sorry. But that counts for this global class here. So basically, that is something for you to keep in mind as well. The final section is Pfeiffer Life, and while there are no college credits in terms of academic credits, there are requirements for students to participate in Pfeiffer Life as part of their development, and there's 6 categories to Pfeiffer Life. The first one is art appreciation. The second is global awareness. The third is a mental, physical, spiritual wellness. The next one is Pfeiffer pride and tradition. Pfeiffer purpose and career preparation. And the final one is servant leadership. And here is the requirements for filling out Pfeiffer Life credits. So if you are a first-year student, in other words, you've started at Pfeiffer at some point in time during your freshman year here, and you have less than 30 credit hours of academic credit, you have to fill out 4 points for each of the categories. So if you'll study, there's 4 slots for you to fill in each category. If, however, you are transferring with over 30 to 60 credits, you only have to fill 3 slots in each of these categories for a total of 18. So in terms of filling this out, you need to go to reference your transcripts, and in a separate file, screencast, I will explain to you how to access those files. In the meantime, I wanted to also show you the location where you can find the course, the college catalog. And so I'm on the Pfeiffer website here. And on this website, you'll see under academics, this is the main homepage, pfeiffer.edu. And so under academics, if you scroll down here to the course catalogs and click, you'll see course catalogs. And right here, you'll see 1920. You need to find the catalog under which you started as a freshman. So I think there's been some revisions to where people didn't need to take sport finance as part of this, and last year it was substituted for analytics. So there might be a couple questions in regard to that, but in general, you just if you click here, for example, and you'll see this is the catalog. This is the requirements. This is the contract that exists between the university and the student. There's in the table of contents here, you'll see the course requirements right here. You can't see it on the page here, but it's on page 44 is where all of the course descriptions start. And I have about 20 seconds left to wrap this video up, so I'll thank you for your time, and I will continue the advising information on a second video that explains how to find your transcript information. Thank you.